to show number 24. Can you guys believe it? I'm Tiffany T, and thank you so much for joining us. Adam actually is not going to be able to make it. He is having technological problems with internet connection. He's on the road right now. As you guys know, he just launched his book, so I'm super happy and grateful for that. But tonight we have Mr. Colin Porter as our guest, and I am so excited because Colin is not only one of my friends, but he's just an amazing, amazing entrepreneur, and I'm so happy and grateful to have him on the show. So thank you, Christina. So let's start. We usually start about, Dino's going to join me and say hello. Hang on, let me see really quick what is going on here with the layout. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week and are getting stuff done, being super productive. Why don't we start? Why don't you guys tell me what you're grateful for this week? Hi, Shane. Hey, Colin. I'm so glad to have you on the show. Do you want to sit next to me? Yeah. Okay, well, I'll start. I'm grateful for just all of the, oh my gosh, I have so many things to be grateful for, but I'm most grateful for the opportunity to just keep this gratitude show going. And there's so many amazing things taking place in my life right now that that I'm super excited about. And you know, it's funny because the biggest I guess challenge in my life right now is picking out which opportunities I want to take advantage of. And I have so many options, so many cards on the table, and I am just super pumped for the holidays. I hope you guys are too. And what are you grateful for, Dino? Can you get in the screen more?
Yeah, let me sneak in here.
Let's see if we can scoot this back. Okay, I'll help out while you do that. What are you grateful for?
Well, there's a ton to be grateful for. I'm always going to start off being grateful for friends and family. First and foremost, when family is healthy and doing well, you know, that's the biggest thing. Anything else going on is so minuscule on the importance level. You know, health is definitely the biggest thing. So family and friends, everybody seems to be happy, healthy. So I'm really grateful for that. Of course, I'm grateful for this one right here. She's just a ton of fun, and it's such a big part of my life. Has so many incredible things going on, so it's really exciting to be a part of that and watch everything that she's up to. And besides that, we had the craziest experience. It was probably like 3 or 4 months ago, but I'm gonna lean in here so you guys can maybe see me. But we had an Uber driver who was driving us about 20 minutes in the car, and he was from Colombia. I'm pretty sure that's where he was from, but he was explaining to us that he was born and raised in Colombia, and he had to sneak around in order to use the internet. And so I guess what they do out there is that they don't allow their citizens to use the internet because they're fearful that too much knowledge would turn the people against the government. So the government keeps control of the actual internet and tries to keep the people ignorant. So this Uber driver who now living here in the States with his family, he used to sneak around in order to get internet access, and he educated himself and became aware that the rest of the world has free liberty to use the internet and to kind of learn at will. And so he self-taught himself what was going on using the internet in the rest of the world, and eventually learned how to escape this country of Colombia and so forth, and he moved his family over here. And it's just the wildest story, but it's amazing what you can take for granted when you don't understand you know, the country you're living in and the freedoms and so forth that we're afforded each and every day. So really grateful to be here in the States this holiday season, especially since the election is done, because that was just wild and it's just a mess. So happy that that's done. We can move forward, and yeah, just grateful for the moment.
That's awesome, sweetie. So it looks like a couple people have commented on what they're grateful for. So Christina is grateful for a wonderful job and a loving family and superb friends. And I love you, Christina. Excuse me, you are awesome. And I am pulling up Facebook right now to see who is all on and what everybody's grateful for. So please be willing to share or be free to share, and go ahead and share this, and the video, that is, and like the video as well. And I just want to talk a minute about Adam's book. Adam has worked so hard this year. I have personally seen him go from here already being super awesome, successful, to above and beyond. And he has not only, started his own business, left his 9-to-5. Now he is, helping out people in the financial industry with his business talents and financial skills. And I just really, really wanted to congratulate him. And if you haven't gotten a chance to figure or find out what his book is about, excuse me, you can go to his website, which is mrcenturycity.com. And I think he has one called askadamtorres.com as well. So we ordered his book a few days ago, and he's actually doing really, really well with it. And he made his goal, I'm pretty sure you said, of being top 100 in the financial business book world with Amazon. So thank you guys I know you guys, some of you responded to my posts. So I just really want to thank you for his support. Adam is a great guy. He continually deserves all the good in the world. And yeah, so congratulations, Adam. And I'm sorry you couldn't make it tonight and that you're having complications with the internet. But you got to make stuff happen. The Gratitude Show will always be here. So I'm super excited. Do you have anything to add? Because I'm really, really excited about bringing Colin Porter on. This guy is amazing, and he is just so deep and so, he's like, words can't even explain it. So, hey, Dave.
The one thing I'll add real quick, yeah, you guys, last I saw, Adam's book, Money Matters, is now in the top 5 bestsellers on Amazon for business, I believe this month. So he is up there with all the other bestsellers. So his book's doing extremely well. So I would go over to Amazon and go ahead and check out his book. I've gotten a chance to catch Adam giving a few presentations this week. I think he was over at Ty Lopez's house, but he's doing a lot of cool things, and he's a very articulate speaker. He knows financial investing really well. You can just kind of tell by the way he talks about it and the way he presents different issues. So really smart dude. He's a young gun too, and so I would highly recommend you guys go check out what he's doing. Really cool guy on top of that. So.
Yeah, and Colin, don't worry about it. I'll send you the invite. So, okay, let's see. I just wanted to go through Dave, what are you grateful for today? Your copy's on its way. Awesome, awesome. So for anyone that wants to share what they're grateful for, please go ahead and write it in the comments, and I will go ahead and shout you out. So, okay, Colin is a self-image strategist. And it goes way, way beyond that, but he's so passionate about helping people overcome obstacles in life. And he's got a lot of things in the fire right now, and he is just super, super excited and super empowering to listen to. So I just invited him on. Hopefully this works. And let's see, let's put him in here. And thank you for tuning in.
We got Shane the Train on here as well. There's Colin.
There we go.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, good. The man of the hour, and it is Colin's birthday today, everyone. So wish him a happy, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Colin.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't believe that number. What kind of number is that? Yeah.
I wish. I think it's the first time we've spoken, Dino. So pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you, buddy. I've seen you on like a couple of the live streams there, and we're actually meeting face to face. So that's good.
Yeah, no, it's all my honor, Colin. Nice to meet you as well. I've had the chance to hear you on speakerphone a couple times, and I've heard a ton about you. Your name's always coming up. So It's awesome to get to sit down with you tonight.
Excellent, excellent. I'm not sure what the format is. Nice to see you again, Tiff. The ball's in your court.
Okay, what are you grateful for? And really quick, I just wanted to say, Dave Daly says, "What's up, big man?" And he's grateful for living life on life's terms. And awesome. So thank you for sharing what you're grateful for. Colin, what are you grateful for tonight? It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. I'm grateful for being alive for another year on this planet and able to keep breathing and keep moving forward and being able to still pick up the cup of tea, which obviously with being a Brit, that's a priority. You've got to be able to pick your cup of tea up. This year, I'm so grateful for the advent of Blab. Blab, yeah, you remember the Blab days? It came and everybody met up and we all made so many great friends. And I've got like a handful of people that have stayed in contact, close-knit friends. And so I'm super grateful for that. Of course, I'm grateful for my children, so creative, so loving. Yeah, everything, just so grateful, so grateful.
I'm grateful for the conversation that we had last night. It was so nice to catch up with you one-on-one and strategize and brainstorm and everything like we usually do. So, why don't you tell the world or tell the Gratitude Show and everybody watching what it is that you do? How would you describe your yourself, what you're up to in life, and where you're going?
How would I describe myself? Old but young at heart. My purpose in life is to help push people up. With the premise behind that being that the more people that we push up, the more people are going to want to help us rise at the same time. Because at the end of the day, there's nobody on this planet that is able to be totally self-sufficient. We all need somebody. That's the bottom line. We all need somebody. Unless you're like, there's a biblical character, Methuselah, something like 900 years old. You know, if you live to 900 years old, you can develop the skills to make your own clothes, build your own house, grow your own food, etc. But everybody needs somebody, and that's my perspective in life, and that's my purpose, to help other people. Sometimes it's just a case of standing in the shop and opening the door to let somebody in, and that's what life's about, I think.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because whenever I go out in public, I constantly make an effort to do something nice for somebody that I don't know, because we never know what people are going through in life. I mean, you know, I've heard stories where somebody does go out of their way above and beyond for a stranger, and that person just like looks at them and just says, "Thank you so much. I'm having the roughest day, and you just made it all better." And you know, I just think spreading that love and positive energy is definitely what the world needs more of.
Of course. There's no two ways about it. I mean, there was a spell there where my grandma, she's not with us now, God rest her soul, she's up there in spirit. But I used to go out there on a Monday and help her with her shopping, you know, bring her into town to do this, that, and the other. And each Monday I'd go there, and she got a coal yard down the bottom of the garden, coal yard, coal shed. So I'd go down there and fetch a couple of buckets of coal up. But because she was old school, 9 times out of 10, if I get there and she'd already fetched the coal up. Yeah, she'd already fetched the coal up because she was old school. Now, the point I'm trying to raise here is that life can be a little bit like that. Self-esteem can be a little bit like that. Because I used to go out there and fetch the coal up for her, when I did that, that was a bonus. She wasn't reliant on that. And I think what I'm trying to bring to the table here is sometimes, even though the majority of us are out there trying to help other people, there are the select few that rely too much on other people. And it's all about trying to help these people recognize that they can grow, they can move forward. So as I say, fetching the coal up for grandma, you know, when I did fetch it up, that was a bonus for her, but she didn't rely on it. So that when we're helping these other people, eventually they are able to step up that ladder on their own. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff.
Right, and it's stuff to be grateful for as well. So
of course.
Do you want to share a little bit about you? You have a book coming out, right?
I have. got a book coming out next year. It's called Rome. It's coming out as a book, and eventually there's going to be, because I'm actually using Rome to coach people and get some phenomenal results. But it's coming out as a book, and then hopefully it's going to be like an online course, and maybe a couple of workshops online, etc. But it's just a case of ironing the creases out, so when people read through it, it's okay it being in here, but if I give you the book, it wants to make sense to you. I know where I'm going with this, so I can just make the flow. But if I give it to you in a book at the minute, it's like, hang on, how did it get from here to there? But yeah, so hopefully by March, Rome will be out there. Rome will be out there.
And do you want to explain a little bit about what Rome is?
Rome is a system. It's a metaphor, and it's an acronym. Obviously, Rome: reason, outcome, method, experience. Okay. Now, it's all built around the premise that, I mean, we can all relate to this. Everybody's out there at the moment telling people, you've got to know your why. Okay? We've got to know the why. But a lot of the self-development, it teaches us that you need to know your outcome specific first. And I say, no, you don't need to know your outcome specific first. What you need to know is broad brush. This is what I want to move away from. This is what I want to move towards. Because unless it's a powerful enough reason why you've had enough of the crap, we'll say, why you've had enough of this, and what it is that you want to move towards roughly, then we can work on the specifics. But without that motivation, without that why, without that reason, you're not going to get off the starting block. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. And, you know, I remember when you first started talking about Rome, gosh, how long ago was that? Like,
yeah,
earlier this year, and it looks so, it's just so nice to have the privilege to witness something of this power and this multitude of the ability it has to really, really make a difference to people who participate and pay attention.
It's going to be great, Tiff. It really is. I mean, we've got a sneak preview here. Is one of the things that's going to be on the main front page. I don't know whether you can see that. A simplified approach to the steps of personal growth. So we've got Rome at the top there. And basically, a lot of the personal development, a lot of the self-development, the self-help, they use all this terminology and they make all these different steps that we've got to do this, we've got to do that, we've got to do the other. Now, I look at it from the perspective that if I understand something, I'm more likely to put it into practice. If you say to me, Colin, I need you to do this, I want to know why. If I know why, then I will carry coal to Newcastle. Now, there's a phrase over here in the UK saying, never take coal to Newcastle because there's so much coal there. But if you give me a valid reason why I need to do this, then I can do this. And if I can understand it and relate to it. And this is the premise behind Rome. It's using metaphor, using analogies that people can already relate to. But I've wrapped Rome in a way that it's more palatable, it's easy to remember, and therefore it's easier to apply. And therefore people are going to be able to move forward a lot easier.
Well, I'm super excited. I know you are excited, and I'm excited for everybody that's going to be able to experience Rome and really run with it. Okay, so one of our main big questions is, and I'm sure you'll be able to answer this, no problem, but so what does gratitude mean to you, and why is it so important in your life, Colin?
Right. Gratitude to me, let me put it like this. The majority of the things, or the states, the feelings that we experience on a daily basis, eventually, after a number of times, they eventually become second nature. Okay, even our feelings become habitual based on what's going on around us. Now, if you look at it like this, and this is what got me into the whole gratitude thing, you know, way back when, I decided that if I was going to program my mind by all these different triggers, you know, all these different things coming in, making me feel a specific way, making me feel down, up, excited, whatever, I thought if I can get myself to the point where I can feel grateful automatically, and I think that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for the feeling. Everything we do is for the feeling. Yeah, everything we do is for the feeling, whether it's to move away from that pain or towards that pleasure. It's always going to be about the feeling. So with gratitude, the more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more automated it becomes. So it gets to the point where you haven't got to get up in the morning and say, okay, I've got this, that, and the other to do. You know, I'm really not in the mood. It gets to the point where you get up in the morning and think, you know, I'm alive for another day. Yes. Okay. It may be raining, but the plants are growing. You know, it's all a case of putting that perspective in there so that whatever we see, we can be grateful for something in that situation. Then it just enhances and evolves and grows exponentially. It's, you know, it's just great. It's the mindset that we're looking for of gratitude.
Yeah.
And of course, the more grateful we are, the more the universe says, okay, let's give Colin some more stuff to be grateful for.
Right.
And self and the universe, we're like that. That's me on the bottom.
Obey the laws of the universe.
Of course. As I say, I mean, it's timeless truths. I mean, we all hear these phrases, cause and effect, sowing and reaping, and they're all cliches. But why are they cliches? They're cliches because they're timeless truths. Timeless truths.
That makes so much sense. Do you like have a personal specific gratitude routine that you do every day, or are you just do you have a system? Or?
Right. It gets to the point where I like to optimize my environment, and this is part of Rome. It's part of the book. So I like to optimize my environment. So wherever I go around my flat, there's like pictures of family, of goals, of whatever. So therefore, wherever I go in this flat, whether it's walking out of the bedroom into the shower room there's stuff on the wall that immediately triggers that thought. I'm so grateful for these people in my life. I'm so grateful that I have this in my life. I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this. So there's no one specific thing, but what I would say is my routine is based on the idea that wherever I go in my environment, there's something there that's going to trigger that feeling of gratitude. If that answers the question.
You know, we all have different ways of doing things as human beings, so differently made up. But I'm always interested to hear what everybody's unique, you know, blueprint is for gratitude. Because I mean, no matter what I love about gratitude is no matter how or what you do on any level, it's just important to do it. You know, there's no wrong or right way to express gratitude. So that's awesome.
Exactly. I mean, some people work through a list. I mean, initially in the early days, that's what I used to do. You know, I'd be grateful for my parents. I'd be grateful for my children. I'd be grateful for my family. But it got to the point where it was that automated that I didn't need to do that. As long as I was stepping in, and this is crucial. It's okay having the list and doing it a rote routine. But as we all know, unless we're experiencing that emotion, it's pointless doing it. I think it was a guy, Emile Coué, way back when I was still a lad and God was still a boy. That's a long time ago. And he had this thing that he said, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And he got a lot of success with it. He helped a lot of people, but only the ones that were experiencing the emotion with it. Those that were just saying, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, didn't work. Those are the people that were stepping into it and saying, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and I'm getting better. Those people it works for. So it's all about the emotion.
It really makes sense. I changed up my affirmation time, the way I do it, because before, and you know, I've done affirmations for so many years. I've been able to manifest stuff that I have no idea how it happened. It's just that's how the universe works. But you know, now every day, and I get bored really fast. So my attention span is not that. I'm like, I gotta change it up all the time. But I'm really, and this is working so well in my life too, especially right now once I'm trying to, like, you know, figure out everything, which opportunities I want to participate in, and with that. But now, instead of writing things out like 10 times in a row, the same sentence, you know, that gets boring. It's you don't feel it anymore, you know? So now what I do is every morning I write out my intentions in my life, like what kind of person I'm striving to be. And I feel it, and I laugh to myself. Like, I swear, if someone was to like take me doing my affirmation time, they think, oh my gosh, this girl's a nut. But But yeah, that feeling is so important because our feelings are the ones that really give that vibrational frequency back to the universe.
Of course, of course. And as you rightly say, you know, just writing it out. This was another point I wanted to bring to the table. You know, instead of just writing it out, I mean, I like to use examples, but my little lad there, he's 11 years old and he's learning French verbs. And of course, he's having to write it out and write it out and write it out. And he's trying these different things. And so I'm approaching it from a different direction. I'm saying, okay, Scott, let's just step back from this a minute and say, okay, how do we learn? How do we take this information on board? Well, primarily school taught us that if we write something down, it's important. So automatically we've got that in there. But also what we're doing, we're working with memories. We're working with memory, okay? So how do we retain information? We retain it by putting it there in varied inputs, in varied ways. And why I mention this is if we're using different colored pens for different parts of that gratitude, you know, and we're decorating the piece of paper then, or our gratitude book, or whatever it is that we're using at the time. You know, we're putting these little smiley faces on and love hearts and all the rest of it. And of course, guys wouldn't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. But there are people out there that this would work for. Yeah. So there are people out there that this kind of thing would work for. But any kind of varied input when we're using the same information again and again. Because you think it, what is it about information that's so important to us? People only change when new information gets brought to the table, okay? But it gets deeper than that. I could tell you something and it could really open your world if you were to apply it. But unless it's something that you personally relate to, that's going to have no impact at all. But once you can relate to that and take it on board and think, this makes sense to me, this resonates with who I am, then that information changes back to its original meaning, which is inner formation. Yeah, that's huge.
That is.
It goes information to inner formation. In other words, we're creating those neural pathways. We're creating those associations that when that image kicks in, straight away, we can experience that gratitude, or we can remember that French verb, or whatever it is that we're trying to experience, whether it's a new way of thinking, feeling, or behaving. As long as we make the inputs varied enough with the five senses, with colors, with smell, with some music, with whatever, that information will go in there and bang, you've got it.
Right. And isn't that like the deepest form of neurolinguistic programming? I mean,
neurolinguistic programming is one of those things, and I'm not challenging anybody on this, although in a different arena I would. Neurolinguistic programming, they took pieces from here, they took pieces from there, they took pieces from there, and they put it all together in this nice little package that we can all use and apply, which I do. But it was all yet again back to the timeless truths. You know, you've got people like Bob Proctor, you've got Tony Robbins out there, you've got Zig Ziglar, you've got all these people who are using the same material and putting a different slant on it, and we can take it on board. This is why I'm saying to you, information is no good unless it creates that inner formation. Once you get that, then you can move forward. So call it NLP, call it auto-suggestion, auto-hypnosis, self-hypnosis. I mean, when you're in school, when you're learning and the teacher's banging this idea, you know, stop looking out the window, Colin. You know, look at what I'm doing. Look at the blackboard. Do this, do that, do the other. They used to say that quite regularly. But at the end of the day, for that to go in, we've got to accept that information. I don't want to get this into a mindset program. It's a gratitude show, but we have to accept that information. And then any information that you give me that I accept, that is a form of self-hypnosis. Any idea that we impress upon the subconscious mind over and over and over and over and over again, eventually become fixed in there, and that will affect who we are and how we perceive the world to be.
Awesome. So it's all just about resonating with that. Because I mean, I know in the past, like, for example, Adam and I joke around about, I use the word stimulated for when I'm stressed, because I don't like the word stress. But stimulated, he knows exactly what I'm talking about, and so does Dino. But I'm like, I'm stimulated, and like I don't have to say anything else, and we don't have to talk about it. It's just, you know. But then like there'd be other people who could relate to the word stimulated as being a good thing, or you know, it's all so super cool about how our mind works and all the things that's made up of.
Yeah, I get it 100%. Language is so vital, whether it's our body language, whether it's our physical words, because the words that we use, as you rightly just pointed out, the words that we use to describe a situation, I call them ECDs, emotionally charged descriptors. Okay, emotionally charged descriptors. So, and this is all part of Rome, but so I'm giving everything away. So if people are on the side there watching, they'll just take notes and they've got the book and they can run with it and steal it. That's cool. So emotionally charged descriptors. The labels that we put on things inherently have their own meaning attached to it, and emotion. So like you say, you like to use the word stimulated, and that's great. But it's like when we go into a situation, here's another one for you, whether we call that excited or whether we call that fearful, it's the same chemicals going through the body. You know, it's the same neuro-released chemicals. So, and a lot of people will look at it, we're going on to perception here, trying to stay focused on the gratitude. But the label that we put on that feeling will determine whether we're going to step forward into growth or step backward into stagnation.
And last night we were talking about decisions versus resources.
Oh, decisions.
I would be so grateful if you could expand on that, because it makes so much sense, at least to me. And I think people would get a lot from that.
Okay. I was going to put something together about decisions and resources today. And the day I've had, this is another point to raise, is a bit of leverage here to get that out of the way just for a second. Chris Ripker, I'm so grateful for him. My audio had gone down the Swanee earlier on. It's very surprising that I'm actually here. My camera wouldn't work, nothing would work. So I'm grateful to Chris Ripker. If you're out there, buddy, great. If not, watch it on the replay. Decision. Now, decision and resources. A lot of people, they say that they're going to make it. They try to make this decision, but it's not really a decision. It's one of these, well, it would be nice if this happened. I'd like this to happen. A lot of people can't relate to the whole thing of decision being a fixed thing. This has to happen. Decision actually comes from the Latin "decai die," mean to cut off from. Okay, so once we make that decision, we go and do it. However, the majority of us, myself included sometimes, you know, I'm not out here standing on the platform preaching. Even I fall foul of this. You know, people say, right, let me give you an example. Jamie, he says, Dad, this was 3 days ago, Dad, I'd like to go on the PlayStation. So I'm saying, okay, mate, but I can't. Okay, why can't you? Well, I can't find the controller. Okay, but you don't need the controller. And he said, he looked at me like I just fell out of a tree or something. He says, what do you mean I don't need the controller? I says, well, you haven't made the decision that you're going to go on the PlayStation. You said you'd like to, but you haven't said, I'm going to go on the PlayStation. Once we make that decision, that's the difference. Then we would do whatever it takes. So I'm saying to him, so, okay, so he says, all right, I'm going to go on the PlayStation. I said, okay then, mate. He says, but I still haven't got the controller. I says, no. I says, you have to look for it. He says, but Dad, I've looked for it. I says, yeah, you have to look a bit harder. I've looked everywhere. I says, no, if you looked everywhere, mate, it would be in your hand. You haven't looked in the one place where it is. Okay, so he says, well, okay, well, what shall I do then? Because I've looked. I said, well, why don't you go and ask Scott? That's his brother. Go and ask Scott to help you. Because if we can't find the resources ourselves, let's go elsewhere. And he said, but yes, but Scott won't help me. I says, well, what have you got that Scott wants then? What can you do for him that will enable him to be able to help you and feel like he's gaining from it? Well, I could make his bed. I said, there's an idea, mate. Going off to make his bed. And he came back down and he says, I've offered to make his bed. He said, but that's not enough. I said, no, sometimes we have to go the extra mile. What else does he want? He wants to take my washing to the laundry basket. He's only in the bathroom around the corner. Okay. So I says, how badly do you want to go on the PlayStation? He said, I want to go on it. I want to go on it. I said, so take the clothes to the laundry basket. So of course, within 10 minutes, he's back downstairs. Scott's bed's made. The laundry's in the basket. Scott's helped him. He's found the controller. So all's well. Yeah. And this is the point. But so many of us, they will let the lack of resources hold them back. They'll say, but I haven't got the controller, so I can't play on the game. No. Decide to play on the game. Then you will find the controller. In other words, in whatever area, anybody out there listening, whatever area you're in, what entrepreneur, solopreneur, I did this in the video, but whatever area you're in, don't let the lack of resources hold you back. Once your reason is powerful enough, once that why is in here and it's like burning away, you do whatever it takes. And if that means a skill swap, you want your web designing, go to the person and say, look, these are my skills. I can do this, that, and the other. What can I do for you that will enable you to be able to help me? Win-win situation. So I hope that sort of clarifies the decision, the resources thing, because at the end of the day, one last thing I want to bring onto the table before I sort of step back is that when we go for that decision and we back off from it, or let me put it another way, if we stick to that decision, we're building that that muscle of determination. But the flip side of that coin is if we don't stick to our decisions, what muscle are we strengthening? What muscle are we building? That muscle of procrastination. And it becomes so much easier to drop into that and use that strong muscle than to use the determination muscle. Lecture over. I'll get on my soapbox.
That was a really, really good example that I think it really helped portray the fact that what a great example to even to share that, because a lot of the times, I mean, I know for me, I'm not sure about everybody else, but I learn by stories or being shown things or, you know, given scenarios, or that's just how my brain works. And then Tom says the ability to find resources equals resourcefulness. Thank you, Tom.
Resourcefulness. Yes, people don't lack resources. They lack resourcefulness. If we can get excited enough, if we can get caring enough, if we can get worked up enough, there's nothing that we can't be, do, or have. If I can put you in a place where you're as emotionally charged up to help me as I am to get the job done, bingo, you've got it. And I think that's where Tom may be coming from.
Yeah, well, and would you agree that it's a balance of giving and receiving? Because if you don't give, then you don't receive, and then if you give too much, you're not able to receive. Or even in the opposite, if you're just taking too much, then you're not able to give. I mean, it's just that balance there that makes the synchronicity of that cause and effect work so harmoniously. And we would have nothing really, if you think about it. If we were just one person on the planet, we really wouldn't have anything. I mean, yeah, we could feed some plants for our food and, you know, and grow them to eat. But at the end of the day, you know, it always takes someone, whether it's that person directly or indirectly. So I think that's just so cool.
Yeah, 100%. It's like I mentioned a few minutes ago. It's like you'd have to be as old as Methuselah, because yes, you probably would be able to survive. You would find a palm tree to shelter under. You probably gather some leaves round. You snack on a few berries, etc. But the point I was trying to raise was, you wouldn't be able to experience the standard of living that we have today on your own. It would not happen. You would not survive. It just wouldn't happen. It would not happen. But yeah, back to the giving and taking. A lot of people, I mean, a lot of my teachings, I suppose, Napoleon Hill with his Think and Grow Rich and his laws of success, they were growing up, they were my Bible, you know, when I got into the self-development thing. And his thing is about going the extra mile. And I do think even if we do go the extra mile, yes, the universe will reciprocate and it will send back to us the stuff that we're putting out there in a way or in a form that's useful to us. But I think if you go the extra mile, the key is not to expect it to come necessarily from the person that you've given it to. It could come from any area. I could give to you and it could come back from CJ, it could come back from Mario, it could come back from Meredith, it could come back from whoever. But as long as we're putting it out there and moving in the right direction, the universe will comply and reciprocate.
I completely agree. And to everybody who's watching in the audience right now on Facebook, if you guys have any questions for Colin or want to ask him anything or even share what you're grateful for, please go ahead and do that. I wanted to ask you, Colin. So, I mean, I know, okay, it's your birthday and all, and what to this day has been like the most like triumphant experiences that you've had that you're the most grateful for? I mean, like going from like the dark place to the light, like what experiences of those do you have the most gratitude for?
There's one person that I've got the most gratitude for in this life, and that is when I came across a lady called Jackie Walsh, and she changed my life. She introduced me to spiritualism, and the whole psychic and the whole spiritual aspect with law of attraction, etc. And without her introducing me into this, it wouldn't have happened. You know, I wouldn't be at the point where I started to step out and help people. I started to do the self-growth, the self-healing. And that is one of the things that's driven me forward to help people understand that even some of the thoughts that bubble up, we're not thinking them. We can go against that. And that is what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for Jackie introducing me into this stuff, because it's enabled me to help so many people, and hopefully I'll have a small part to play in helping a lot of people move forward.
And it's so true. Like the people that we meet and that we connect with and network with, you never know who's going to be that one that helps, you know, give you a clues and change your life forever. So, Chris Ripka says, I'm grateful for worldwide friendships. I'm grateful for that too, Chris, because technology is
you got it, buddy. I said a few minutes ago, I'm grateful to Blab. I'm grateful to yourself. I'm grateful to Mario, grateful to Tiffany, Meredith, the people that have been important to my life that have stayed since the advent of Blab. And it's like my life's moved so much, so many spaces forward from the advent of meeting you guys. So I'm so grateful that Blab did come to pass and that I've met up with you guys.
Yeah, that, like I was explaining before, that one action I took this year on deciding, and I was terrified. I had never done live stream. I'd never done videos before. So it was like that one action I took to do my 24-hour attempt at Blab changed everything this year. If I wouldn't have done that, I wonder where I would be. But not to dwell or anything, because I'm so grateful that I did it. But I'm just like, to put it into perspective. I mean, you know, JP Freeman and Sam Gonzo were the two people I met that still to this day I'm in contact with. And through them, I've met a network of amazing, good quality people who are all in alignment with, you know, what I'm doing, what I want to accomplish. And I love being able to work together with everybody, with this whole spider web of people. And just, you know, it's cool because I help them, they help me, and it's like a natural thing, a natural flow. There's no like effort or like a challenge in doing so. It's really, really awesome. So thankful for that.
Me too, Tiffany. I'm going to stick around for about 5 more minutes, but it's 10 to 4 in the morning, so I need to hit the sack.
Okay, if anybody has any more questions, and Colin, there's just one thing I'll wrap up with you. Do you have any secret strategies or anything hidden that you would like to bring a little bit of light to?
A little bit of light. Okay, we'll throw this one out there then. Right. We can all relate to the fact that we've got this inner voice. Okay. A lot of people will say the negative voice, you know, that voice that like berates us, you can't do this, you're stupid, blah, 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 blah. Right. So we can relate to that voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as much as we can choose to ignore that voice through various techniques, we can also influence our sense of overwhelm when things start going crazy. And we've all been there where the mind's going crazy. I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I've got the other to do. What am I going to do? It's all gone crazy. If we start to speak out loud, now this is big as well. This is big, right? If we start to speak out loud and say, no, this is what I want to achieve. I'd like to get X, Y, Z done in that order. By verbalizing it, by actually speaking it out loud, we overrule the subconscious mind. Okay, so when you're in that state of overwhelm, this is what I want to give to you guys. When you're in that state of overwhelm and everything's going wrong, say, no, not doing that. This is what I want to achieve, X, Y, Z. And I'll tell you what, in that moment, you regain control. That is huge.
It is huge, especially control over your subconscious. I mean, would you say that you ever have control over a subconscious?
Right. I'm saying I probably didn't put that across very well. Because
I was just
everything we do is based on the box. Okay, let's not get into a mindset thing. But everything's to do with the box, the self-image. The self-image, the box, I call it the box. And the box is one of the big three. You've got your self-image, which everything comes from. And the self-image will pull from your values. It will pull from your beliefs. Okay. It's like, it amazes me when people say they've found spirituality, you know, and it's separate from the box. No. Because everything we do is pulled from the box. The box is our identity. So to relate to the whole spiritual aspect, that idea has had to go into the box. Yeah?
Yeah.
That idea that we can relate to spirituality has to have been integrated into the self-image. So even though it's separate, it's a bit like God's moving to and through us. You know, he's like omnipresent. He's outside as well as inside. Yeah? But I just wanted to broach that one, and it's just one of my bugbears. You know, you've got to put it in there and say, yes, I get this spiritual thing. I can step out of my mind. I can travel anywhere because we are where our focus is. But the belief of how this works has to go into the box. That's it. I'm going to leave it at that.
That's beautiful. I'm so excited for all your stuff coming upon. I'm excited for your book coming. I'm excited for Rome. I'm just and thank you. I'm excited for you coming on to the show anyways.
My pleasure. Pleasure to be here.
It looks like Adam has finally joined us. He's been able to get internet connection. So I am going to go ahead and put him in the window really quick.
Alan.
But yeah, so I know you have to go, but hey Adam.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I just wanted to say a quick hi. I just wanted to say a quick hi to Adam and say congratulations on your book doing so well, and keep getting it out there, keep pushing it forward, buddy. And congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, I wanted to be here for everything. I'm traveling. I didn't have internet connection. My apologies.
No worries.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Tiffany's held the fort, but we'll catch up another time because I do want to talk to you, Adam. You know, let's catch up another time. Right, Tiffany, I'm going to bail out here. Say thank you very much to you guys for having me on the show. But if I don't go now, I'm going to be dead in the morning, and I've got to go and see my children.
Well, thank you so much, Colin, and I really appreciate you coming on, and we will catch up soon. And everybody who wants to get a hold of Colin, his information the notes are in the Facebook Live post. So go ahead and look them up. Thanks, Colin, and have a great day.
Yeah, take care. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Colin.
Adam, how are you doing, sweetie? Let me change the back here. Okay, there we go.
It looks like you had an amazing show. I caught the last couple of minutes with Colin and giving the talk on the box. I'm gonna have to watch this one again. He seems amazing. You always get the best guests, so thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So
I
how's
like the background too. Look at how festive you are. Gosh, it's good.
Nice. Oh my gosh, I just woke up like literally an hour and a half ago. It was one of those days. I didn't go to sleep till like 1 o'clock this afternoon, like noon or something. And I was so tired, so exhausted. I just had so much to do. And so I'm finally like, okay, go to sleep. And then like, I got to wake up at like 5:30 for the gratitude show. And yeah, somehow or another, I pulled it off like I always do.
Wow, holidays, right?
Right. So how was Victoria's birthday? And what are you grateful for tonight, Adam?
Oh, I'm grateful. Jeez, I am so pumped. I am just so, I'll tell you, doing this book thing and all this, I never expected like just to see so many, I mean, heard so many cool stories and just met so many cool people. I did a tweet earlier and I'm like, man, just when you put something out, you get it back tenfold. If you're doing it with the right heart and the right intention, it's just amazing. It's just really interesting how you connect with people and all the responses they've given and things like that. And it's funny too, because just when you're just genuine and like, because you know what we do with the gratitude show and everything, that's just us. So when you're just genuine with what you're doing, how much things just kind of excel. I had someone, they reached out to me, they're like, hey, you know, we can get you to #1 on Amazon and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm like, well, you know, I'm not really trying to game the system. It's not my thing. This isn't about branding. I just want, you know, people to hear the message. And it's just interesting just from that conversation, because they'd never been told that before. It was just really interesting to make these connections. And they're like, wow, so you're for real. I'm like, every single post, anything you ever see me do, it's me. It's real. I don't really have anything else to do. I honestly don't care about getting #1 or this or that. The funnest part for this, like it happened unexpectedly, was when I started receiving pictures from people that had the book. So then I said, well, let's do, because I only have the proof. My books haven't even come in yet. So Amazon ran out like immediately. It was up, like Sammy basically got the first book on Amazon. so I didn't even know, and I didn't even know it was on Amazon at that point. Sammy told me because she's like, oh, I just ordered it. I'm like, what? I thought they said Monday. I didn't even know. And then and so now people are actually receiving them, and I got the first picture, and now I just got the second picture that I put up. So I said, well, I've heard of the ice bucket challenge. I don't know, let's do a Money Matters challenge and just see what happens, to see what kind of pictures people do. And so when they get their books, so I just put up the second picture, and it's just fun because you get to see, like, you know, people and the interaction. And it's not about, like I said, I don't care about getting #1. That doesn't, I mean, it's just fun to see and to help people and to see what they're doing. And not saying I'm not going to keep going for it. I mean, I'm going to keep working because that's just what we do. And I believe in the message I'm spreading. So I'm going to keep doing that. But to see this part, it was totally organic. Isn't some marketing thing I thought over in this lab or something. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this picture's cracking me up. Somebody sent it to me on Snap with a big cheese. I'm like, I got to post this. And that was the challenge right there.
I'm so gonna get a picture too. So we ordered our copy earlier this week. So
I'm excited. Tag me in the post. I can't wait. This is so fun. This is like literally I didn't even think about it, but this is the most fun part of it all so far. I mean, it's just been that. I don't care. I mean, interviews, all that's fun, but like this is the fun part, like seeing somebody. And then, you know, kind of the Amazon reviews really haven't come in, because I think, to my knowledge, basically the first books were received maybe today, if it takes Amazon a couple days to send them to you. So it's just fun. Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and read Wade's comment really quick. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to the Gratitude Show. Adam and I, this is like our baby. This is our project. And we love the Gratitude Show. So thank you for showing your support. Thank you for showing up. And just thank you for sharing what you're grateful for. So Wade says, we all have unfolding into each other's experience because we are traveling similar paths with different stories, trying to tell the same story in our own version, and growth and helping others. Grateful for you guys tonight. Oh, thank you so much, Wade.
Thank you, Wade.
Wade's going to be on the show too, come here January. So
I'm excited. I am excited.
Put those beliefs in the box, and then allow those beliefs to allow you to travel outside the box into new adventures. Love it. And Jamie, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. What are you grateful for? What is everybody grateful for before we wrap up? And announcements, while we're waiting for that, next week we have Kathleen Passmore, who is a dear friend of mine from Montana, actually. And I just love this woman. She is a true inspiration. She's an ambassador for New Day Collection, which is a jewelry company in India. And now her and her husband a long time ago adopted a beautiful little girl named Bhavani from India. They actually flew to India a couple times and went through the process to take this little girl and make sure they could give her a good chance at a good home,
Oh, wow.
And now she's just become this amazing, strong woman, the little, Bhavani. But Kathleen has also grown. She, her kids are grown. She's a grandmother now. She's super hot grandmother, by the way. and so she's like, she was trying to find that fulfilling thing in her life. And so she's able now to just give back to the people in India where her daughter comes from. And it's so cool. And I'm really excited to have her on next week.
That's amazing. I can't wait. So cool.
Yeah. So I was just reading the comments. Oh, that was you, Adam.
Oh, yeah. No, so you know Dave's famous pose where he's I said I want his entrance to be that. I want him to do when he gets his book in the mail. I want to see, that's what I was telling him. I want to see the famous Dave Daly pose with the book, because that one's gonna win it all. I know it. I love it.
Okay, well, and thank you so much to Colin Porter. Colin, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. And if anybody is interested in being on the Gratitude Show, we are accepting bookings for after March 9th. So we will be happy to put a spot in the calendar for you, and we're happy to have you on. Adam, any updates? Anything that we need to know for the week, or anything you want to share?
I just really want to wish everybody a happy holidays. You know, I was in the airport, not this morning, but yesterday, and I noticed that, you know, people were, I don't want to say tense, and I know airports can be a tense thing, but I just want to say that, you know, during the holidays, let's just remember what it's all about, and let's lead with gratitude, and let's kind of just kind of take a step back when sometimes we may get annoyed, or, you know, some things may happen that we there's just another air about, you know, tension, some environments, not all environments, of course, but I would just encourage everybody just to be grateful, like to just take a step back and, like, you know, think about, like, wow, how amazing. So even when I was in line in the airport, which it went extraordinarily smooth, but there were some delays on the plane and some other things, and I wasn't really, I won't say I wasn't upset, I was slightly agitated, but then I just went back to gratitude. I was like, you know what, I'm grateful that I'm in this plane. I get to spend the holidays with my girlfriend and her wonderful family. I get to, you know, that this plane is arriving to the destination safely. I'm so grateful for that. Like, let's not take some of the little things for granted, because they're usually pretty big things. Like when somebody, like I was thinking about, I'm like, I'm on a plane agitated. Yeah, not why. Like, I'm so blessed to be able to, like, travel and be with loved ones. Like, so it was like a second it took me to get back. So, but that's because I've trained the gratitude thought process and muscle. So if you're just kind of understanding or getting into that feel and kind of exploring that field, just think about it as something you have to work on. You know, it's just like some things are taking you to the side. Go back to gratitude. What am I grateful for? Just set your mind free and just think, what am I grateful for in this moment? And it can be the smallest thing, it can be something large, it doesn't matter, but just shift the focus. So that would be my message during this holiday, these next couple of days coming up. Just enjoy it with your family or whomever you're with, and just be grateful.
Absolutely. And I love your outlook on life. I mean, it's so true to just remain in that state. And I constantly have to redirect my thoughts every single day. I mean, this is a lifetime activity, you know, it doesn't ever go away. And just spreading the love and compassion with everybody, especially during the holidays and while people are traveling. I mean, I've seen people be so mean, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, we really all just need to be loving and compassionate towards each other. And like, that's really at the end of the day what it's all about, you know.
Absolutely.
And, so you're in Nebraska, you made it?
Kansas. So Victoria visiting her family and out in Kansas. So it's been a wonderful time. Yeah. So now I'll head back home pretty soon and get back to work. So everything's good.
I'm grateful you made it safely, and I wish you guys.
I'm so happy that I could at least catch the tail end. I don't like missing these, you know that, and I'm like, this is one of the funnest parts of the week for me.
I always got you back, so no worries. And thank you everybody for tuning in so much. Adam, I really appreciate you, and we wish you the best throughout the holiday season.
Awesome.
And we will see you next week, next Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. You want to close us out, Adam?
Yes, thank you, everybody. Have an amazing holiday. See you next week, 7 p.m. Gratitude Show. What number are we on, Tiffany? 25? I get it wrong.
Tonight, 25 will be next week.
I meant we're going to be on number 25 next week. That's what everyone have an amazing evening and enjoy the rest of the holiday, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. See you later, Tiffany. Thank you.
Thanks.